Hey y'all, Carolina Tony here. Today, the road brings us to Waco, Texas. If you were alive 40 years ago, your choice in TV viewing was very limited. Wasn't a whole lot of streaming like there is today. And if you were sitting in front of your TV, this thing that happened here where I'm standing would have been very hard to miss. 40 years ago today, something very newsworthy happened. The Branch Davidians. Does that ring a bell? Well, watch this video and you'll learn all about it. And we'll get started right after this station identification. As with any story, there are all types of versions. I'm going to give you just one of them. The Branch Davidians were the folks that inhabited this farm back in around 1980. The Branch Davidians is an offshoot of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Was led by a man called Vernon Howell. Later, he would change his name to David Koresh. Also, this particular compound was known as Mount Carmel. Not long after taking control, David Koresh started taking on what he called spiritual wives. You know where this is going. He had a lot of wives. In fact, some of those wives were as young as 11 years old. Allegations of child abuse and Koresh's launch of a retail gun business attracted the attention of the local authorities. Believing that the group was allegedly stockpiling weapons, the U.S. Bureau of Alcohol and Tobacco Firearms, that's the ATF, obtained both an arrest warrant for Koresh and a search warrant for the compound on February 28, 1993. More than 70 ATF agents raided the complex. Gunfire erupted, and although it's uncertain who fired first, and during the 2-hour battle, 4 federal agents were killed and more than a dozen injured. In addition, 6 Davidians reportedly died. More than 900 law enforcement officials descended on the compound, including the FBI negotiators. And during all the negotiation back and forth, exchanging supplies, sending in milk and all, Koresh agreed to release some of the people inside. He released around 30, but they thought that maybe 100 still left in the compound, and the talks continued. The talks began in February the 28th of 1993 and continued for 50-something days. Around 6 a.m. on April the 19th, 1993, the FBI began spraying tear gas into the complex, and soon after that, the Branch Davidians started firing back. More than 5 hours, armed vehicles, some punched holes through the wall and deposited around 400 tear gas canisters inside. At 11:40 a.m. the assault ended. Some 25 minutes later, the Branch Davidians set several fires, and at 12:25, gunfire was heard inside the compound. Well, due to safety concerns, the firefighters weren't allowed inside the area for another 15 minutes, and by that time the compound was beyond saving. While 9 people managed to escape, the rest died. Investigators found about 75 bodies, 25 of which belonged to the children. A number of deceased had been fatally shot, including Koresh. While some of the wounds appeared to be self-inflicted, others did not. Of course, as you might guess, the government's handling of the situation drew sharp criticism. Janet Reno, she later said that she regretted even authorizing the raid, and there was a big stink about the whole thing. Later they found out that some of the tear gas that the FBI fired in there was flammable. Years later, Mount Carmel rebuilt under new leadership, and in fact they are open so people can go visit and see what they're all about. Of course, the day that we're here just happens to be, my luck, the day they're closed. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give us a big old thumbs up. Be sure to share with your family and friends. But until next time, y'all have a good day.